This is Michelle.
This is Mark.
And this is Rebecca.
And we thought we would talk tonight just about random stuff. And we will.
Rebecca is my friend.
Yes.
She happens to be Mark's friend, sort of. And I worked with her for 4 years. I was her accompanist. She was the choir teacher. And so we know each other really well.
Yes. Maybe too well.
Maybe too
Right.
well. So she has her nephew who is Aspie or autistic.
He's just been labeled as on the autism spectrum.
Okay. He's what, 17?
18.
18.
Just turned 18 in July.
Okay.
Hi, Jasmina. And so we were just talking tonight. She was talking tonight about how he has decided he would like to move out with a friend. And that scares her to death.
I can understand.
So let's talk about that for a little bit.
Okay.
What is scary about that?
So, my nephew has lived with us since he was in 3rd grade. Probably right at the end of his 3rd grade year, he moved in with us. And academically, he's struggled. And so there are basic concepts that he doesn't get, such as units of time. He doesn't know exactly what 15 minutes means, or that he has a certain amount of time to get things accomplished. He doesn't understand units of money. 4 quarters equaling $1, that kind of thing. He would have no idea if he were to pay for something and someone handed him back change, if he was getting the right change back. Due dates, that kind of thing, those are all things that he really struggles with. We have to move really slowly with things. We're very slowly teaching him to drive and very slowly allowing him to learn how to cook and to work with some other things like that, because it's a struggle for him to process those things. But that's a big concern, is he doesn't really, I think, understand how much responsibility is involved with living on your own and paying bills and taking care of yourself just to keep yourself alive. So that's a scary thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting, because those are the very basic things that you need to keep yourself alive. And when you're autistic, I say when I was autistic, I had trouble with money. I tried to do the cash office at the store, and I was horrible at that.
Hi, Marlo.
And so it's those abstract concepts that require a short-term working memory, because I was thinking about that, because I couldn't, change was a big deal for me. It took me a few years to figure out change.
Changes in money change.
Right. Yeah, not that kind of. Well, it figured a few years to figure that out too.
Yeah.
But,
Also, with that kind of change, that's hard.
Because you get so rigid, and I'm still pretty rigid, but I know what I am.
Oh goodness, you are so not rigid now compared.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that makes me feel good now. Of course, that's a big change.
Yeah, it is a big change.
Feeling good about, change. But
thank you, Mark.
But
there's your monkey.
But all those things. Where's the feds?
You haven't got me one yet.
I'll get you. I'll get you a little tiny one. And so anyway, can you tell we have fun on here? But those are all the basic things. And I hear so many. I'll come across adults with autism who are like, but we just need help. Well, yeah, I know, but I don't want help, or they resist help. I resist help still. And it's just, there are so many basic things that are abstract concepts to surviving. And it's because it's the abstract concept that we don't get it.
Why might he not understand 4 quarters equals $1?
Because they're fractions.
He did struggle a lot with fractions.
So explain.
I had trouble with fractions.
Explain.
It's easy enough to understand a whole thing, right?
A whole pie.
Fine, let's go with a whole pie, And so with a whole pie, but my biggest thing was, why does it take these 4 things to make up a whole pie, right? Or 5 things. 5 things was harder. Even numbers were easier, but for some reason, it was not being able to understand that smaller pieces made up the whole. Like time. Time is the same way. But again, what I've noticed since I've recovered is that I can remember what the passage of time feels like. Whereas I couldn't as an aspie. People always used to get on, you're too slow. You're taking too much time. And I remember, how do you know? Yeah, that's what I asked him. Because I just I couldn't feel the passage of time. Now I can feel the passage of time. It's a pain, especially when it's summertime and it isn't fall yet. You know? And in fact, this was the longest summer of my life. This was like waiting for Christmas
from January.
Yeah, you know. So, but now I can really feel the passage of time. But that's the thing. You don't. I think it's a matter of emotion and memory combining to let you know what time the passage of time feels like. Because 15 minutes, I didn't know what 15 minutes felt like before. Now I do. You know.
Marlo says, I'm teaching my son who is 13 to cook and balance a checkbook, but he doesn't have the concept of time. It's very frustrating for us both. He uses his cell phone a lot to remind him of things. My son can't get fractions at all.
See, and for Isaac, he still struggles with a lot of basic math concepts, even addition and subtraction. And cooking is hard because of the measurements of cooking and understanding that if the half is bigger than a fourth, even though the 4 is the bigger number.
See, I never got that either.
Right. And so it's little things like that. But I think a big part of the challenge is that he doesn't trust himself to just try and possibly fail. He has a huge fear of the failure part of it, so he doesn't even want to try.
Yes, and cooking can be dangerous.
Oh, yes.
Because when I was learning to cook, if like crab cakes, like at some of the restaurants I worked at, like Cardwell's in St. Louis and Grotto, sometimes crab cakes, if you don't form them right, get big air pockets in them. So when you put them in hot oil, they explode. And so you'll get hot oil going everywhere and pieces of crab. And, you know,
Gross.
it's like Mr. Crab exploding.
Nice.
But you get all that hot oil everywhere, and that scares you. And I remember it took me a long time to get over the fear of being burnt by oil, you know. So because you just, you know, cooking can be surprising. There you go. And if you have sensory issues, being surprised by hot oil pisses you off.
Yeah.
And scares the hell out of you.
Yeah.
So, you know, timers are good though. Don't think that they're not good. In fact, one of the mothers at work.
Hi, Lee.
Lee used to work with me at the store. And
Hi, Lee.
But Rebecca, Lee, Rebecca, Lee. And but Marlo, timers are good. You guys use timers?
We do.
Yeah, because I had to use timers because when I was cooking.
Yeah. Marlo, I say this because we have podcasters too.
Oh.
So Marlo said, "Oh my God, you're describing my son's fear of failing."
We deal with this even with just doing homework. Even when he first moved in with us, he wouldn't attempt homework on his own. He was constantly asking for help, and he hadn't even started it. And he was doing it in the classroom, and we finally had to come up with a system where you have to attempt this many on your own before you can ask for help, because he was just so afraid of failing. And he's a people pleaser, even though, you know.
Well, that's the personality.
Right. And so that's still, even now, he's about to graduate high school this year, and it's still a big issue for us as well.
You know, that fear of failing, it's taken me the last couple of years to really get past the fear of failing. And I was mostly recovered when I started working on it. It's just, you fail, everybody fails. But as an autistic person, because you fail so much and you get so little, that's what it is.
You can't feel the reward.
You don't get the reward. You don't feel the reward when you're successful.
Right.
But you definitely feel not
the
punishment,
failure.
But the
disappointment.
Well, yeah, other people's disappointment,
right.
Especially when they tell you, well, you didn't do this right. And you definitely remember that.
Right.
And I don't know if you've heard me say this. I don't think you probably have, but I've said it a few times on some of our lives, in that when you're autistic, because of the nature of the autism, you remember negative things almost exclusively.
Right. Mm-hmm. We have learned that in his recovery.
Mm-hmm. Because
he still had an extremely negative brain, but he could see rewards now, and he could see that he was doing well, but he couldn't get that neural net. He had to break the neural net because it was formed so solidly.
It was so strong. It's
autism.
taken a few years to do that. And when you're autistic, in fact, when we ran out of the group for adults, they were almost entirely negative because that's all they could remember. And that's all I could remember was the negative instances. And positive, I couldn't recall. Well, other than the cookbook.
And that was like 1995.
Yeah. See, I still remember that. That was the one positive thing that I remembered.
Out
Michelle.
of 25 years of marriage.
Right. But then.
Hi, Jennifer.
She has a son on the spectrum with pants.
Okay.
So thanks for being here. And that's the thing. So we almost always solely remember the negative stuff, and that reinforces I don't want to do this anymore because I might have another negative consequence.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, I can totally get it.
Yeah.
So, but the concept of the fear of failing is incredibly strong. So and it's not something easy to get over with. Well, there is that, and but it's good that at 18 he's already starting that, because I was kind of I had to kind of quickly figure out how things were going with me at 18. So, but that's cool that he's got somebody who's willing to teach him, because I just kind of picked up cooking a few years later and made all kinds of mistakes and burnt things. And I didn't have a timer, so I definitely burnt things. And it's hard to keep presence of mind when your mind doesn't focus either, you know, because as you said, anxiety, there's that too. And anxiety is horrible when you have autism, but it's horrible for others too.
It's horrible for me to, as a parent, to not want to let him fail. And I think sometimes allowing him to fail as the best teacher, but it's hard to just sit back and let him do it. You know, that's scary for me.
Especially for driving.
Oh,
that would be
I
really...
know. My husband is a saint, and he does the driving. I have not. I have not ridden with him yet.
Scared the bejesus out of the people who taught me to drive. So, you know, because you don't judge. I couldn't judge distance well. Does he judge distance?
No, he's got a very slow reaction time. He's slow to process. He doesn't understand that he needs to look further down the road. So swerving is an issue, and maintaining speed, that kind of thing. Thinking ahead to how to make the turn, that kind of thing. It's just the processing is slow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, maybe that's why I yelled and screamed at drivers more than most people, because they should have read my mind, you know. Of course, you know, there was that.
Yeah.
I expected people to know what I was thinking. You know what? I still do, to be honest. At least at work. So,
do you?
Yeah, somewhat. Not folks that I work with, but customers. You know, don't you know to get out of my way?
Oh.
You know, crap like that.
Oh.
So, but that's cool though, because he has somebody, a friend that he's wanting to move out with. That never happened for me. That's cool.
Yeah, I think his friend is a lot like him. I think he's undiagnosed. But yeah.
Maybe a little more capable.
I mean, he drives. He has his license. And so, I mean, I think a little bit, yeah.
Is he older?
No, they're the same age.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. So see, and you know, sometimes I know I get down on autism, but people still survive with it.
You did?
Yeah, I did. You know, on my own for a few years until we met, about 5 years, I guess. So, or no longer than that, 7 or 8. So
the other thing is, Rebecca has known us long enough to see Mark change.
True. That is true.
Let's speak to that.
Well, I mean, I think when I first met you, you were already in the GAPS diet at the time. Mm-hmm. I think
2014.
So. You were already doing the GAPS diet, so sort of in the middle. But I remember meeting you going, I think he's autistic. And this was before you'd even said anything to me, because I didn't know. So Michelle kind of came in the middle of a semester. I was desperate for a pianist, and I didn't even listen to her play. I was like, you can play, let's go. And so we didn't really take a lot of time to get to know each other. And I hadn't met Mark, or we hadn't really even gotten on a personal relationship yet. But the first time I met Mark was at that Christmas concert that year.
At the church?
No, it was at our school.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember thinking, And so then she starts talking about NTs, and I was like, what the hell is that? What's an NT? What are you talking about? And then so learning kind of the language was a new thing for me. And then watching I have seen over the last 4 years huge changes, and not just in your personality, but physically. I've seen changes in the shape of your face and in your eyes, and swelling has gone away, and something that I never would have associated with being with autism, but seeing all of that was
the inflammation. You mean?
It was just an amazing transformation, and getting to watch it has been a really cool thing for me.
Well, and everybody can get inflammation. It's just that some people get the inflammation, and autism comes with it. And so it was nice to lose that, and to have someone else who's seen me recover besides my parents and my wife.
Right.
Because people will be like, oh well, but they're just your parents, they're your wife. They're always going to say that. No, people that I work with have seen changes too.
I was seriously skeptical too. I'm a big science is the way. I am all about the science. I'm a nursing student. I am science.
She's graduating
medicine.
tomorrow.
I'm graduating tomorrow.
Yay!
Yay! Finally. And so I was really skeptical, but you can't deny evidence that's right in front of your face. So
you can, but you didn't.
Yes, that's true.
Oh
no, her nephew is not on medical medium.
Oh no. I would like for him to try it, but he's also a very picky eater, and certain textures are difficult, and certain smells.
How do you handle picky in your house?
Well, to be honest, I'm a terrible mother. And we just sort of have a free-for-all at dinner time and pick what's in the fridge that you like, or, He has become more willing to try more things lately as we've encouraged him. He's in a program, he's in a VOTech program with the Moore Norman Technology Center, that he's getting to learn a lot of different things. And one of the things he's getting to do, one of the things that he's getting to do is grow his own produce. And so as he's growing vegetables, he's trying them, and we're cooking them in different ways. And he's learning to cook in school as well. And so that's been a big, I think, push for him to try new things. So maybe we can get him to do some medical medium. I would like for him to. I would like to do some medical medium myself.
If you could just do the heavy metal detox smoothie with him, if he would be willing to drink the smoothie.
I think he would.
And nothing else. I think it would change him enough.
Yeah.
That he might, because we've heard other people doing only the heavy metal detox
and then the lemon water.
And they're changing.
It's totally worth a try. I think he probably would. I think he'd try it. Maybe he might like it.
Try it with a little bit of cilantro instead of what we normally put in. You probably would. And if you were drinking a little bit, yeah.
Well, I won't do the cilantro.
Yeah, okay, well.
Well, you can heal without the cilantro.
I think cilantro tastes like bleach.
Well, that's when it touches the metals and it oxidizes the metals, and that's why you're getting that taste.
I don't like it. I will detox.
That taste goes away.
Okay, I believe you.
But I know you're not going to do it.
No, I will try. So here's the thing. Some things that I'm learning in nursing school. The medical community is starting to catch up on gut health and its connection to mental health and everything else. And there are lots of studies going on right now about how important the flora and fauna, the natural flora and fauna of your intestines are to your overall mental well-being. And so we're starting to catch up. We're starting to see studies that are being done. So I do believe that there is some scientific evidence to this. It's just taking a while.
So see, Marlo started with us like 2 months ago, maybe?
I think it was, yeah.
And she's having her kids do just the heavy metal detox smoothie.
Cool.
And she's already told us so many changes that have happened.
Well, now her daughter can read much better. Her son's focusing more.
Less anxiety. He's not chewing his pencil erasers.
Excellent. That's great.
So, I think she may have said something else.
Oh,
hey, Helen. And
That's Joseph.
I know. We know her, though.
she likes to be
She likes to pretend she's Joseph.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So,
Hi, Helen.
Rebecca.
Helen, this is
Helen,
Rebecca.
Helen,
We
Rebecca.
told you about her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, oh, yeah. We talked, yeah. And so you air. And but just the detox smoothie has made major changes. In fact, a guy that we interviewed earlier in the week,
Sean.
or was that 2 lifetimes ago?
What it feels like it.
Yeah. he's just doing the heavy metal. His girlfriend's doing the heavy metal detox smoothie. In fact, she's
They're
watching
doing
us
celery
now.
juice too.
And the
Okay.
celery juice. And he's already seen changes in 10 days.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
That's really
I guess he's in
fantastic.
his early mid-30s.
This is the best thing you could do for Isaac.
Yeah.
If you
That heavy metal detox smoothie.
So you've talked to me about the celery juice and we've talked about the smoothie. If we could only start with one, which would you start with?
For you,
Well, okay.
celery.
But for him,
But for him,
heavy metal
heavy metal.
detox smoothie. Yeah.
okay. And what is the benefit of the celery?
The celery is going to help you with your viral load, which
Okay.
is what he says is causing the fibromyalgia and all of your, what do you call that stuff you have? PCOS? What do you,
Yes, I have PCOS among other, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, among other issues. I have some lower intestinal issues besides, so I'm looking for some healing
Really?
from that.
this is Sean's girlfriend, and she said there's been more changes since the
All right.
interview.
So we're gonna have to talk to him.
Yay.
All right, cool.
And then Marlo says, my son was dancing today, first time ever. Oh, wow. And my daughter followed directions, answered questions, all during their first music therapy group. I'm going to high five you, Marlo.
High five.
Good job.
So,
That's awesome.
that is cool. Yeah, and just because, and that's all they're doing is that heavy metal detox smoothie. He has his inner piece about it. Oh, really?
Which is
Oh,
really,
that's
that's
so
amazing,
great.
Jasmina. Tell him hi. I'm sure you see him.
He might be at work tonight. But yeah, that's just heavy metal detox smoothie and celery juice for them.
Right.
And then heavy metal or detox smoothie for Marlo. So, and her kids, Marlo, your kids are like what, 7 and 8? They may be younger than that.
She said 13 was one.
Oh, that's
while
right.
ago.
That's right. 13. And but
Marlo's been doing celery juice and trying to do, because she has Hashimoto's.
Oh, I have a friend with Hashimoto's, and it's a struggle.
yeah,
Struggle.
Yes,
she was detoxing so heavily just with celery juice, she had to slow way down.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was drinking 16 ounces, or no,
Yeah, I
she
think
drank 32
No,
ounces.
she only drank one slot.
11.
11 and 13.
One stock. She only had one stock. I was
No,
telling
you were
her,
recommending to me to only do like a fourth or so
Right.
of a stock at
'cause
first.
I think you're really sick. And so she started having,
Thanks.
I love you.
You're so sick.
Dude, you're sick. You're sick.
Oh,
I stopped for a while.
She stopped.
the celery juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's really intense. Hi, Roxy.
Roxy.
I've met Roxy.
Oh, yeah, she brought you clothes.
Stuff for that family that had
That they
lost
had
all
the
their
fire.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Roxy. You're the best.
Roxy is
It's
Joseph's daughter.
Joseph's daughter.
Joseph's daughter. So
I like the quote.
16.
Yeah.
Oh, you did have, Marlo, you had 16 ounces that first.
wow.
No wonder you had that trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to have to be on more often because this is fun.
It is fun. I can't do this 6 nights a week. I live too far away.
You're right. I'm doing only detox smoothie and celery juice. It helps me with ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
So were you able to get off of the steroid yet, Jasmina?
That's right.
I do detox smoothie
Oh,
now.
yeah,
It's
really?
amazing. Good, Marlo. Good. So our podcasters are going to be, wow, this one's really rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, oh, wow, we're over time. And look at all these fun people.
Well, do you want to talk some more? Why not?
What do we need to say?
I don't know. I think we're like,
I do want to say, was it Marlo that has kid and music therapy? As a music teacher, I fully support that, and I think that's wonderful.
Marla, that's because she's a choir teacher. Was a
I
choir
was,
teacher.
yeah.
Yes.
Forever ago.
I know, right?
Last
In May.
year.
In May. I
Well,
left in May.
In nursing school, I'm sure it's forever ago.
Right.
But anyway, all right, guys. Well,
Okay,
let's
that's
thank
it.
Rebecca for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Rebecca.
Thanks for having
Thank you.
me.
Yeah. And thanks for hanging out long enough to be on here.
Right?
And all right, continue to do the celery juice, continue to do the heavy metal detox smoothie and the lemon water. And remember, our the new detox guide, Heal Your Autism's Do-It-Yourself guide, Healing Begins in Your Kitchen, is available on the website for sale. And then also download the book Buried Alive, One Man's Journey Out of Autism. And we will see you guys tomorrow night. Tell Sean we said hi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.